But over time, the balance changes. You're leaning in, they're leaning away, and you start doing more emotional work. Not because you want to, but because the alternative feels like losing the connection altogether. So you give things time. You stay patient. You tell yourself that closeness can be scary, that people move at different speeds, that maybe this is just a phase. And sometimes it is, but sometimes it's not. Sometimes what you're experiencing isn't a temporary hesitation, it's someone reaching the edge of their emotional capacity. What's rarely talked about is how painful this dynamic is for emotionally available people. Because it doesn't end with anger, it ends with self doubt. You start replaying conversations, wondering if you said too much, if you needed less, if you should have waited longer to be honest. You shrink parts of yourself without meaning to. And the most frustrating part is that connection felt real because it was. The connection wasn't imagined. It just wasn't sustainable in the way you hoped. Eventually, something becomes clear. Not all at once, not dramatically, just a quiet realization that being emotionally available doesn't guarantee emotional reciprocity. Some people are drawn to depth, but struggle to stay there. And that safety without consistency slowly turns into exhaustion. This isn't about being too open. It's not about needing less. It's not about changing who you are. It's about recognizing the difference between someone who feels comforted by your presence and someone who can actually meet you in it. Because real connection doesn't leave you guessing. It doesn't make you feel like you're asking for too much when you're asking for something mutual. And clarity often arrives when you stop trying to understand why someone couldn't show up and start noticing how often you did. This story may be familiar. Maybe it brought someone to mind, or maybe it brought you back to a version of yourself who tried a little harder than you should have. If so, you're not alone. You're not broken. You're not naive. You're just emotionally present in a world where not everyone knows how to be. And sometimes recognizing the pattern is the beginning of choosing something different. If this resonated, you're not broken, you're becoming aware. And awareness is where change starts. If this puts words to something you felt but never quite explained, you're not alone. You can share this with someone who might relate or subscribe if you want more clarity around emotions